condition, we got maximum mass flow rate. Maximum mass flow rate is equals to m max is equals to A2 under root n into P1 by V1 into 2 by n plus 1 whole power n plus 1 divided by n minus 1. The whole thing is under root. This is the maximum value of mass flow rate. Then after substituting this relation, we got maximum velocity. Maximum velocity of the steam in the nozzle, Cmax is equals to under root 2n by n minus 1 P1 V1 into n minus 1 by n plus 1. So all of you take the screenshot. All of you take the screenshot. Done? Students, please respond.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This is the mass of steam passing through the nozzle, and this is the derivation of critical pressure ratio or condition for maximum mass flow rate, where P2 is the pressure at the throat, P1 is the inlet pressure. If we consider the convergent divergent nozzle, so this is the P1, and where the area is minimum, that is the throat, that is a critical pressure, and P3 is the exit pressure. Okay, and if you substitute this relation, we'll get maximum mass flow rate as well as maximum mass velocity. Now, in today's class, we'll discuss about area velocity, very important derivation. This derivation again you will study in 6th semester. Area, velocity and pressure relationship. In thermal turbo machines, you will study this derivation again, once again. Area, velocity and pressure relationship in a nozzle, for flow of steam through a nozzle, right? So we will derive this derivation. So in order to understand this derivation, you should have the concept of fluid dynamics actually. Okay, let me explain. Can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Right. Can I use pen over here? Highlighter. Huh? I think I can't use pen here.
Sir, choose the pen option, sir.
This one.
Not the signature.
Where
Right
is the
side.
pen here?
Right side, there are a lot of options, sir.
This is redact. Then fill and sign. Okay, nice. Sure. do one thing. Okay, I will explain over here only. Okay, area velocity pressure relationship for the steam flow of steam through a nozzle. Okay, we will discuss for subsonic, sonic, and supersonic. I will discuss what is subsonic, sonic, and supersonic in coming time. Okay, right. So as we know, the continuity equation for compressible fluids is that is the mass flow rate is constant. Okay, so the mass flow rate is the rate of change of mass, means the mass of the fluid flowing through a cross section for a particular time. That is conservation of mass. It should be constant. According to conservation of mass, the mass flow rate should be constant. So mass flow rate per time we can calculate it by multiplying density with area with velocity, right? So if you multiply density into area into velocity, okay, what are the units you are getting? Density is in kg per meter cube and area is in meter square, velocity is in meters per second. Therefore, finally you will get with kg per second. Okay, let me open parallel both so that I can edit. Right. So if you multiply density into area into velocity. So density units are kg per meter cube, area units are meter square, velocity units are meters per second. Therefore, you will get kg per second, right? So according to continuity equation, the mass flow rate is constant. Okay. So therefore, rho AV is equals to constant, right? If you differentiate this one, UVW formula, right? So what you will get? Rho A into dV by dx, right? So rho A into dV plus AV into d rho plus V rho into dA. Rho V into dA is equals to differentiation of constant equals to 0, right? So divide this whole equation with rho AV on both the sides, means if you divide this whole equation with rho AV and rho AV, so then separate this rho A will be cancelled, then you left with the dV by V, then AV will be cancelled, d rho by rho, and dA by A is equals to 0, dA by A equals to 0. Okay, right. So from this I can write dA by A is equals to minus dV by V minus d rho by rho. Okay, right. So here you should remember Euler's equation. So Euler's equation for compressible fluids. Euler's equation for compressible fluids. You have not yet studied fluid mechanics so far. Okay. So remember what Euler's equation states that the total energy is constant. Time being, you remember the total energy of a flowing fluid. The total energy or head is always constant. Okay, right. So the total energy is nothing but pressure energy plus kinetic energy plus pressure energy, kinetic energy, and datum energy. Equals to constant. Okay, right. So from this, so we can write dP by rho plus VdV plus GdZ is equals to 0. Okay, so you should remember this one. This is the Euler's equation of motion. Okay, so now if you neglect the, let us assume the nozzle is horizontal. If the nozzle is in the horizontal, then inlet and outlet are at the same condition, same level. Therefore, at that time dz will become 0. If z1 is equals to z2, datum 1 is equals to datum 2, then it implies dz difference of the datum will be 0. Then you left with dP by rho plus VdV is equals to 0. Okay, na? So then what we will do after this? Then what we are doing? We are multiplying and dividing with the d rho, first term. So dp by rho into d rho by d rho plus v dv is equals to 0. Okay, so this one I can write dp by d rho into d rho by rho plus v dv is equals to 0. Is it is clear so far? Is it is clear so far? Please answer.
Sir, height at two sections of the nozzle are different. No?
No, from the datum, let us say this is my reference, right? This is my reference, means this is the inlet, this is the outlet. Measure this distance and measure this distance. This distance we are calling it as Z1, this distance we are calling it as Z2. So let us assume this nozzle is horizontal, then this distance will be this distance, right? The axis will be same center line. The cross section is different, but the axis will be at the horizontal. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Right. So what you should remember? You should remember that Euler's equation dp by rho v dv dgz. You are going to derive this one in fluid mechanics. Now it's not required. Now again, one more thing you should remember. As we know, for compressible fluids, dp by d rho is equals to a square. Compressible fluids, dp by d rho is equals to a square. Right. I will show you that derivation also. You are going to derive this one in fluid mechanics. This is the derivation. So this is the expression for velocity of sound wave in a compressible fluid. So where A is the right velocity. So in this derivation we are going to derive A is the velocity of the sound wave and C is the velocity of the piston. Okay. Now if you derive at the end, we got it A equal to here A equal to under root dp by d rho, or a square equal to dp by d rho. Okay, where a is the velocity of the sound wave. So dp by d rho is replaced by a square. The same thing we are using, dp by d rho is replaced by a square. You should remember this one also. Right. Now, so after substituting, cursor here. Then if you substitute, what you will get? A square dp by d rho is replaced by a square, where a is the velocity of sound wave, d rho by rho plus v dv is equals to 0. From this, a square into d rho by rho is replaced by minus v into dv, right now? Minus v into dv. Okay. Now if you simplify further, d rho by rho is equals to minus v by a square into dv. Minus v by a square into dv. Right. Now what we are doing? We already written dA by a value in terms of dv by v into d rho by rho. Now what we are doing? We are substituting d rho by rho in this equation. Make it as equation 1. And d rho by rho is equation number 2. Okay, substitute 2 in 1. So we will get dA by a is equals to minus dv by v is there, and minus d rho by rho is replaced. Already minus is there. So here minus into minus plus. Okay, so v into dv by a square. Okay, so then what we will do? We will take common dv by v from this one. So therefore dA by a is equals to, I am taking dv by v common, minus 1 plus, if I take dv by v, I will get v square by a square. Is this simplification is clear? If I take dv by v, v is not here, I am multiplying and dividing with v here. If I multiply and divide with v, v into v will be v square. Is it is clear? Till here, is it is clear? Please reply.
Yes, sir.
Right, now here I am going to define one new term that is called Mach number. Mach number is a non-dimensional number, a very important parameter by whenever we are studying about the compressible flows. Okay, right, compressible flows are categorized based on the Mach number. Okay, right, Mach number is defined as the ratio of flow velocity to the sound velocity. Flow velocity to the sound velocity. Okay, so flow velocity is denoted by symbol V, and the sound velocity we are denoting with letter A. Okay, some books flow velocity is C, whatever it may be. V by A is the Mach number. So generally Mach number is also defined as it is the square root of inertia force to the elastic force. Inertia force to the elastic force. If you substitute these two and if you simplify, then you will get V by A actually. Okay, so that is the Mach number, right? So based on the Mach number, the flow can be either subsonic flow. The compressible flows can be categorized as subsonic flow, then sonic flow, then supersonic, and hypersonic. The flows can be categorized based on the Mach number. Based on the Mach number, the flow can be either subsonic flow, sonic, supersonic, and hypersonic. So in case of subsonic flow, the Mach number is less than 1. When Mach number is less than 1, which implies flow velocity is less than sound velocity. Flow velocity, because if you substitute m less than 1, then V by A less than 1, then V less than A. Whereas in case of sonic flow, the Mach number is equals to 1 and flow velocity is equals to the sound velocity. And in case of supersonic flow, Mach number is greater than 1, therefore flow velocity is greater than sound velocity. And in case of hypersonic flow, Mach number is greater than 5, their flow velocity is very much greater than the sound velocity. Remember, time being, so based on the Mach number, the flow can be any of these 4 types. Okay, right. So now here, clear this one. Remember definition point of Mach number. Subsonic means Mach number less than 1, means the flow velocity or local velocity is less than the sound velocity. This is sound velocity, and V is the flow or steam velocity, whatever it means. In case of nozzle, we are calling it as steam. Okay, steam velocity and sound velocity. Now if you substitute V is the flow velocity, A is the sound velocity. If you substitute, you will get dA by A is equals to dV by V into minus 1 plus m square, and this can also be rewritten as dA by A is equals to dV by V into m square minus 1. So therefore we got relation between area and velocity. We got relation between area and velocity. Now I want relation between velocity, area, and pressure. Okay, no? Right. We know that dV by V is nothing but dV by V. One second. Right. From Euler's equation, we have this one. dV by V is equals to minus dP by rho V square, where we written dV by V is equals to, yes, from Euler's equation we can have dP by rho plus V dV is equals to 0. Okay, right. So if you simplify, dP by rho is equals to minus V dV, divide with velocity square on both the sides. Okay, because I want dV by V value, therefore dP by rho V square is equals to minus dV by V. Okay, this implies dV by V is equals to minus dP by rho V square. Now substitute dV by V value here, equation number 3, then equation number 4. Okay, now substitute 4 in 3. Now substitute 4 in 3. We left dA by A is equals to dA by A is equals to dV by V is replaced by minus dP by rho V square into m square minus 1. So this can be rewritten as dA by A is equals to dP by rho V square. Take negative sign inside, we get 1 minus m square. This is the relation between area and pressure. So here we have relation between area and velocity. Here we have relation between area and pressure. Now combinedly I can write it as, finally we can write as dA by A is equals to dV by V into m square minus 1. This is also equivalent to dP by rho V square into 1 minus m square. Okay, is this derivation is clear?
Yes, sir.
Now we are going to discuss for types of the what we call nozzles, types of the cross section, different types of the cross section with the different types of say Mach numbers. Right. This is the generalized relation. I am writing where dA by, right? Now let us assume, very important, let us assume for subsonic flow, case 1, subsonic, when the flow is subsonic flow, what is the relation between these three? Subsonic flow. What is meant by subsonic flow? In case of subsonic flow, the Mach number is less than 1. Subsonic flow, Mach number is less than 1. Let us consider this passage. For subsonic flow, remember, basically what is the name of this one? Generally we used to call this one as what?
Convergent nozzle.
Yeah, convergent nozzle. But so always it will not correct. So if you say every time it is convergent nozzle, it's not correct. It depends upon the Mach number of the fluid flowing through it. The same thing will be acting as the nozzle. It may be act as a diffuser. It depends upon the type of the flow. That's what I am going to discuss now. Now here, if you see first one, please concentrate, very, very important. Now for this cross section, what is dA value? This is A1. Please respond. This is A2. What happens to dA? dA means what? Difference of area. That is outlet area minus inlet area. dA means. Is it is positive or negative? Please respond. dA is equals to difference of area, final minus initial. Is it is positive or negative?
Negative.
Negative means it is less than 0. Agree? It is less than 0. And we are assuming subsonic flow. For that, Mach number is less than 0. Please listen. Now, if you consider these two, dA by A, right? Now, dA is negative. Please look at this one. dA is, I am rewriting here, dA by A is equals to dV by V into m square minus 1. Okay? And this left side quantity is negative and m value is negative. It is less than 1. M is not 0. It is m is less than 1. Okay, when m is less than 1, this value is negative. Then what about dV? dV is positive or negative? I want answer. dA by A, where when dA is negative, this value is negative. And when Mach number is less than 1, this value is also negative. So what about dV by V? Is it is positive or negative?
Positives.
Positive, because negative will be cancelled. Positive means for subsonic flow, remember for subsonic flow, this is acting as convergent nozzle. Got the point? For subsonic flow, this cross section is called convergent nozzle. Now for subsonic flow, we will see second cross section. Okay? No. Okay, we will see pressure variation also, right? Now, so if you write area and pressure, dA by A is equals to dP by rho V square. Only we first time we equated these two. Now I am equating first and third term. dP by rho V square into 1 minus m square. 1 minus m square. Okay, right. Now dA, we know that it is negative because area is decreasing, and this value m is less than 1. When m is less than 1, this value will be positive or negative? Please answer.
Positive, sir.
Positive. Therefore, this is negative, this is positive, then dP will be negative. Agree?
Yes, sir.
So dP for the same cross section, velocity is increasing, pressure is decreasing. Therefore, we are calling it as convergent nozzle, because nozzle is used to accelerate the flow. That's why velocity is increasing and it will decrease the pressure. Why we are calling? So this will be acting as convergent nozzle for which flow? Please tell me. This cross section is
Subsonic
acting
flow.
as subsonic flow, because for subsonic flow, velocity is increasing from inlet to outlet and pressure is decreasing. Now we will see second cross section. Now we will see second cross section. This is the second cross section. This is A1. This is A2. Let me change. Right. A1, A2. Very, very important. Please ask me if you have any doubt. Now, what is dA value here? For this cross section, dA.
Positive.
Positive. And I am discussing for which type of flow? Subsonic flow. For subsonic flow, Mach number is equals to less than 1. M less than 1 means it is okay, M less than 1. Now we will write dA by A is equals to dV by V into m square minus 1. Now tell me, here dA value is positive, and when m less than 1, this value will be negative. Therefore, dV by V is negative. Agree? Please
Yes,
answer.
sir.
Right. And we will take one more equation for pressure. dA by A is equals to dP by rho V square into 1 minus m square. You need to explain all these three cases: subsonic, sonic and supersonic. Now, here also dA value is positive, no change because area is increasing, and m is less than, therefore this is positive. M less than 1, 1 minus less than 1 will be positive. Therefore, dP is positive. Means what is happening? For this cross section, what happens to velocity? Please answer. For this
It
cross
is
section, the
decreasing.
velocity is decreasing. Pressure is increasing.
Increasing.
Therefore, for subsonic flow, this cross section will be acting as divergent diffuser. We used to call it as divergent diffuser. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Others please respond. Right. Now,
Yes, sir, clear.
this is what we discussed for subsonic flow. Now we will see case 2. Case 2 is the sonic flow. Sonic flow means Mach number is equals to 1. Okay. First cross section we are considering convergent, right? Let's take the convergent portion. Then for subsonic flow, how it will be acting. Okay. Now, so we know that dA by A is equals to dV by V. Okay. dA by A is equals to dV by V into 1 minus m square. Sorry, m square minus 1. dV by V into m square minus 1. Now, so this is A1, this is A2. As we know, dA is negative here. dA is negative, m is equals to positive. or m is equals to 1. Okay. Now if you substitute here, this value will be negative. What about this value?
0.
0. 1 second. Subsonic, sonic flow. What is this? A by A. Sonic condition m equal to 1. What will happen? And m equal to 1, that will be 0. Then at the time dA will become 0. No change in area. Okay, we will see supersonic, then we will come to sonic. Case 3, supersonic. Supersonic. So for supersonic flow, we will take convergent portion first. As we know, for supersonic, Mach number is greater than 1. When Mach number is greater than 1, for this one, this is area 1, A1, A2. Okay, so dA here is negative and Mach number is positive. Mach number is positive. Therefore, the relation dA by A is equals to dV by V into m square minus 1. If you see here, dA is negative, this value is negative, and this value, because m is greater than 1, it is positive. Therefore, dV will be negative. Velocity is decreasing. Okay. Now we will see pressure relation. dA by A is equals to dP by P into 1 minus m square. Okay. Now here dA by A is negative. When Mach number is greater than 1, this is also negative at that time. So dP value will be positive. dP will be positive. Means this cross section, though it is convergent portion, but for supersonic flows, it is used to increase the pressure and decrease the velocity. Therefore, we can call this cross section as convergent. When pressure is increasing, what is the name of that one? Nozzle or diffuser? Here pressure is increasing. For this type of flow, we used to call it as diffuser. Therefore, we used to call it as convergent diffuser. We can see the same cross section for the subsonic condition will be acting as convergent nozzle, but for supersonic flow, the same thing is acting as a convergent diffuser. Now we will see second cross section. This is the second cross section, A1, A2, right? So m is greater than 1. Now if you see dA is also greater than 0. So dA is greater than 0. Okay. Now if you write dA by A is equals to dV by V into m square minus 1. And if you see dA is positive and m is greater than 1, this is also positive. Therefore, dV is greater than 0. Velocity is increasing. Now if you see pressure terms, dA by A is equals to dP by P into 1 minus m square. Okay. Now if you see dA is positive for the cross section given, and when m is greater than 1, this value is negative. Therefore, dP is less than 0. Therefore, for this cross section, along this cross section for supersonic flows, velocity is increasing and pressure is decreasing. Therefore, we used to call it as divergent nozzle. Clear? Please respond.
Yes, sir.
This is the now we will see sonic condition. For sonic condition, Mach number is equals to 1. When Mach number is equals to 1, then this will be 0. Change in area, we'll see. Subsonic, supersonic. Okay, so for the nozzles, sonic flow does not exist. For the nozzle, sonic flow does not exist. Sonic flow exists only for constant area duct, because if you see sonic flow, Mach number is equals to 1. When Mach number is equals to 1, either m square minus 1 or 1 minus m square will become 0. When Mach number is equals to 1, m square minus 1 or 1 minus m square will be 0. Then if you see the equation, this is 0 and this is 0. Then dA is also 0. When dA is 0 means what is the meaning? A1 is equals to A2. Where the sonic conditions prevails? When the flow is taking place in the constant area duct. When the flow is taking place in constant area duct, then we can call it as the sonic flow. Sonic flow does not exist in nozzles. Clear this one?
Yes, sir.
Right, here you need to remember two things over here. So one is the Euler's equation. So Euler's, what Euler's equation states that the total energy or the total head or energy is nothing but pressure energy plus kinetic energy plus datum energy. Okay, right. So pressure energy plus kinetic energy plus datum energy. Datum energy is nothing but potential energy is equals to constant. Pressure energy is P, kinetic energy is half mv square. This is m into g into h is equals to 0. Okay, so if you divide pressure with the specific weight, it will be pressure head. Okay, that's why you got P by rho z plus v square by 2z plus gz, h or z. This is z or h equals to 0. From this we got actually. Okay, right. So remember this one. Then after that you should remember for compressible flows, under root dp by d rho. Under root dp by d rho is equals to sound velocity. Okay, dp by d rho is nothing but a square, we can substitute. These two things you should remember. These are the for compressible flows. Okay, so this is important, this description. So don't think that it always act as nozzle. It depends upon the type of flow. For subsonic flow, it is acting as nozzle, whereas for supersonic flow, the same cross section is acting as diffuser. And for subsonic flow, this is acting as the diffuser, whereas for supersonic flow, it is acting as a nozzle. What is the name of the nozzle? Divergent nozzle. Clear, na? Students?
Yes, sir.
Right. Right. Let me explain about Mollet chart, and we will solve problems in the next class. I have some meeting over here. Now, do you have idea about Mollet chart, Mollet diagram? In thermodynamics, we studied. One is having idea about Mollet diagram? Please respond. If not, tell me, I'll explain. Okay, now look here. This is the graph between enthalpy versus entropy. Mollet diagram is the graph between enthalpy and entropy. Enthalpy is on y-axis and entropy is on x-axis. And as we know, the unit for the entropy is equals to kilojoules per kg Kelvin, and the units for the enthalpy is kilojoules per kg. You can see it is kilojoules per kg, right? Now inside we have so many lines. You can say have constant pressure lines, constant temperature line, and constant specific volume lines, and dryness fraction lines. All these lines will be. Now you can see this blue colored one. So this blue colored one are constant pressure lines. Sorry. These blue colored lines are dryness fraction lines. These blue color lines are dryness fraction lines. Means if you see this dryness fraction is red is the dryness fraction line. So you can see x is written over here. X is equals to 1. What is x equal to 1? It is dry and saturated stream. This is the saturation line. And below this, you can see red line 0.95, 0.90, 0.85 means this is wet stream. So this red color line is the dryness fraction line, and this blue color line is the pressure lines, constant pressure lines. We can see this is 0.01 bar, means along this line, wherever you pick a point, the pressure is equals to 0.01 bar. You can see 0.1, 0.2, 0.5. This is 1 bar, 2 bar, 4 bar, then 10, 20, 50, 100, 200, 500 bar. So this blue color line is the pressure, constant pressure lines. And you can see one more line, green color line. These are the constant temperature or isothermals. Means along this line, the temperature is constant along this green line. Okay, right. So now we can see, as we know, the expansion of the steam in the nozzle is isentropic. The expansion of the steam is isentropic. Means here, if you see, as we see the PV diagram or TS diagram for the nozzle, TS diagrams for the nozzle, right? So this is the actual expansion 1 to 2, actual expansion of the steam in the nozzle, and vertical line you have, this is dotted line 2s. What is 1 to 2s? Isentropic expansion of the steam. Okay, right. Let us say in the problem he will give the data like this. So the steam at pressure of 2 bar and 400 degrees centigrade. The inlet condition of the steam is 2 bar and 400 degrees centigrade is expanding isentropically to the 0.1 bar. See, steam at a inlet condition 2 bar and 400 degrees centigrade is expanded in a nozzle to the 0.1 bar. We won't mention isentropical also sometimes. What is the question? Calculate the velocity of the steam. Calculate velocity of the steam. So in order to solve this problem, we can use either Mollier diagram or we can use steam table. If you use steam table, you need to use the formula. What are the formulas we have? So what are the formulas we discussed in thermodynamics? We can see HFG is equals to Hg minus Hf. This is one formula we have, right? And H is equals to Hg plus X into Hfg. Remember anyone this formula? Okay. H is equals to Hf plus X into Hfg, where X is the dryness fraction, Hf is the enthalpy of the fluid, and this is the enthalpy of this one mixture, Hfg, latent heat we can say. Okay, so these formulas we have to use, or else directly we can use steam Mollier diagram. Now we will see how to use the Mollier diagram. So we know that the inlet condition of the steam is 2 bar and 400 degrees centigrade. Means in the Mollier diagram you need to select a point where 400 degrees centigrade line and 2 bar lines are intersecting. Okay, now so we assume the data is not exist. Okay, if you see 150 is okay, 150 is mixing with 150 line, right, 4 bar let us say. So 150 degree and 4 bar to 2 bar, expansion is till 2 bar let us say, because that it is not a possible practically. Whatever the assumptions we assume, this is not feasible practically. Okay, so practically 150 bar and 150 degree and 4 bar. So where is 150 degree line? So this green color line is the 150 line, and where is the 4 bar? 4 bar, this is the 4 bar line. You can see this is the, just put it mark, 4 bar line. So where this 4 bar line and 150 are intersecting, first mark that point. So this is our point 1. This is point 1. Okay, now it is expanding till 2 bar pressure. It is expanding till 2 bar pressure. What we need to do? we need to right line. All right. So draw a vertical line. Draw a vertical line. Okay. Now till 2 bar pressure. Where is 2 bar line here? So this is 2 bar line. Okay. This is 2 bar line. Where is 2 bar here? Till that point. So this is 2 bar. Here we have, because this is 2 bar line, means if you see horizontally, draw a line, horizontal line, and 2 lines horizontally. Now this is enthalpy corresponding to state 1. This is enthalpy corresponding to state. Is this process is clear? What we need to do, first you need to select a point on a Mollet diagram where the given pressure and temperatures are intersecting. That is point 1. Location of point 1 is important. Okay. Then we know that the expansion of the steam in a nozzle is isentropic. Therefore, drop a vertical line downward direction. Okay, till the exit pressure. Right? Where is the exit pressure? Exit pressure is 2 bar. Now this is the 2 bar pressure. Therefore, corresponding to these 2 points, note down the enthalpy. Once you know enthalpy, as we know, so velocity of the steam is equals to V is equals to 44.72 into under root delta H. So by using this formula, we can calculate the velocity of the steam. This is the procedure. Is it is clear? We will solve problems in tomorrow's class.
Yes, sir.
Right. And if you have steam tables, please get it tomorrow. Okay, we will solve problems on Rankine cycle.